All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. We're back on Weird History, and we got Timeline TV, 1999. Everything that happened in TV in the year of 1999. I was 19 years old. I'm trying to see how much of this I remember. But again, appreciate you guys coming over and watching. I'm excited for this, man. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
It's the night on everyone's mind.
This could affect half the continental United States.
The survival of millions hangs in the balance.
Go, everybody out!
Just tell yourself it's only a movie. Y2K, the movie.
1999 was the year Prince had been waiting for since 1982.
I don't believe in time, Kurt.
And it did not disappoint. Several classic shows debuted right at the buzzer of the new
Dang, man. Rest in peace to Shannon Doherty. Oh, there's going to be some faces in here who are probably gone. Sheesh.
millennium, including one that would change the face of television dramas for the next
Sopranos.
3 decades.
Mr. Soprano?
Yeah.
TiVo further revolutionized the boob tube by introducing the world to the DVR, letting you record your favorite shows and watch them later in
That
an
was
early
99.
form of what would become video streaming.
You can watch what you want when you want it.
And Batman Beyond showed us a version of 2019 that just never came true. But boy, did it look cool.
This suit looks even better than I thought it would.
We're taking you through all of the TV shows and TV-related news and events of the 90s. This is
Dang.
Timeline TV. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and let us know in the comments below about your favorite TV memories from 1999. Now, are you ready to find out what everyone was watching the year Napster was created?
Holla, holla.
Wow.
On January 10th, HBO dropped the first episode of what is now widely considered the single greatest television drama of all time,
Hey,
The
I watched
Sopranos. Starring James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano, a New Jersey mafia boss who seeks the aid of a psychiatrist after encountering difficulties balancing his family and professional lives.
Any thoughts at all on why you blacked out?
I don't know. Stress, maybe.
Oh, you prick! Where's my money?
The show ran for 6 seasons and won 21 Emmy Awards.
Damn.
That same night, Fox broadcast the first episode of the animated comedy The
PJs.
PJs, co-created by Eddie Murphy and Larry Wilmore.
We're doing a satire of the projects, basically. So it was something that hadn't quite been done, you know.
The show followed a build
Hey, man, if you ever lived in the projects, you know. Wow, man. This is crazy. This is some nostalgia for real. Wow. Memories just flooding in.
superintendent managing day-to-day life in an urban housing project.
All right, you want down a throne, Queenie.
Disney's first animated series for adults, it struggled in the ratings before moving to the WB for its 3rd and final season.
The Daily Show. It's new anchorman Jon Stewart.
All right, fellas, what do we got?
We got a guy that could blow the lid off the tobacco industry.
I heard about a
He's
cure for
still
cancer.
going.
Too dry.
There's some kind of pornography convention at the Skymark Hotel.
Skymark on 52nd Street?
Yeah, that's the one.
Gentlemen, this calls for a live remote.
One day later, Jon Stewart took over as host of Comedy Central's The Daily Show, interviewing Michael J. Fox as his first guest. Stewart would lead the series to unprecedented levels of popularity and political relevance, before departing on August 6, 2015, and handing off hosting duties to Trevor Noah. On February 12, 2024, Stewart would return to reclaim his anchor's chair on The Daily Show for one night a week. As of this writing, he remains on the job. On January 23rd, film critic Gene Siskel appeared on what would be his final episode of the iconic movie review series, Ciscoll and Ebert. The installment would find the two reviewing the films At First Sight, Another Day in Paradise, The High-Low Country, Playing by Heart, and The Theory of Flight. Siscoll, who had been diagnosed with a brain tumor, would soon announce he was taking a temporary leave of absence from the series. Sadly, he would die from complications from brain surgery less than a month later, on February 20th, 1999.
People always asked if we really hated each other. And one thing I know for sure is that we didn't. You know, big guy, I love you.
Just over a week later, Fox aired the very first episode of the animated comedy Family Guy. Famous for its surreal pop culture references and edgy humor,
Funny guy, Tom Hanks. Everything he says is a stitch.
I have AIDS.
the show initially struggled in the ratings and was canceled after just 3 seasons. However, reruns on the Cartoon Network would turn it into a cult hit, leading directly to a revival in 2005.
Well, this is peaceful.
Friends had a lot of iconic episodes, but the one where everybody finds out, which aired on February 11th.
Now, this show, again, rest in peace, Matthew Perry, boy. This show right here, I still watch. If I'm just like laying down editing and I'm flicking through the TV and I see that it's on, I'll definitely watch it. And every episode I see is like me watching it for the first time. Wow, man.
Is among the most beloved. In the episode, Phoebe learns that Monica and Chandler are secretly seeing each other. One of the most significant developments in the show's history.
Yeah.
Phoebe just found out about Monica and Chandler.
You mean how they're friends and nothing more?
It was nominated for 3 Emmy Awards and is regularly cited as the single best episode of the series.
I love you, Monica.
I love you too, Chandler.
On March 13th, Nickelodeon celebrated the 100th installment of its kids' sketch comedy series, All That, with a special hour-long live episode, which featured live appearances from guest stars like Melissa Joan Hart and Lauryn Hill, and a taped message from Britney Spears.
I hurt my knee and I had to stay at home. But hey, you know what would make me feel a lot better? Watching my favorite character, Detective Dan.
It was the first and only time the show was entirely performed before a live studio audience. 3 weeks later, Fox introduced the world to Futurama. The sci-fi animated series from Simpsons creator Matt Groening followed the adventures of Philip J. Fry, a delivery boy who wakes up 1,000 years in the future.
My parents, my coworkers, my girlfriend. I'll never see any of them again. Yahoo!
Where he becomes friends with a one-eyed mutant named Leela and a sassy robot named Bender. It was canceled after 4 seasons, but like Family Guy, it would become a cult classic, leading 2 separate revivals. Comedy Central aired the first episode of the sitcom Strangers with Candy on April 7th. The series, which starred Amy Sedaris and Stephen Colbert, followed Jerry Blank, a middle-aged woman who goes back to high school to turn her life around.
Calculated your final grade point average based on this morning's geography pop quiz. It all adds up to you being held back.
But if I don't graduate by the time I'm 50, I'll be the laughing stock of Flatboy High.
Comedy Central's first live-action narrative series, it lasted just 3 seasons, but is now regarded as a cult classic.
Anchors away for SpongeBob SquarePants!
And on May 1st, Nickelodeon gave viewers a sneak peek at the first episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. Created by marine science educator and animator Steven Hillenburg, the show exploded in popularity, becoming the highest-rated Saturday morning cartoon of the year after just 1 month.
This comic book that I created when I worked at the Marine Institute. It's called The Intertidal Zone. It started me thinking, if I'm going to do a show, I would do it about these invertebrates and these crazy animals that exist in the ocean.
More than 25 years later, it's still going strong. ABC broadcast the series finale of Home Improvement. Starring Tim Allen as a home improvement show host and father, the final episode, which was watched by over 35% of American households, found him turning down a lucrative offer to keep doing his show.
If you're going to turn this show into a 3-ring circus, I might just quit. Sorry to lose you.
The story mirrored real life. Allen and co-star Patricia Richardson turned down a combined $75 million to continue Home Improvement for 1 more season.
Well, it was a lot of fun, even though I can't remember one funny thing that happened.
Home Improvement's 90-minute finale, tonight on ABC.
And on June 2nd, Star Trek Deep Space Nine came to an end with What You Leave Behind. The finale tied up several long-running threads and is now considered one of the best installments of the series.
You always said I looked good in a tuxedo.
You do.
And perhaps the single best Star Trek series finale of all time.
We are building a dam. A dam to stop the river of estrogen that is drowning us in political correctness. We call this dam The Man Show.
Comedy Central set its sights much lower 1 week later, when it broadcast the first episode of The Man Show. Created
I
by
don't
and
remember
starring
this.
Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel, the sketch comedy show both satirized and reveled in stereotypical male behavior.
With shotgun beer, you got two tabs to pull. One on the top, the other on the bottom.
Originally created for ABC, who ultimately passed on it, the series courted accusations of sexism.
Now we leave you with girls jumping on trampolines.
But nonetheless, The Man Show lasted 6 seasons. The cultural phenomenon Who Wants to Be a Millionaire aired its first unsuspecting episode on August 16th. Hosted by Regis Philbin, the trivia game show saw its first $1 million winner on November 19th in John.
I remember that guy when he called. I think that's the one who called his dad. Hey, Dad, I'm about to be a millionaire. I was like, man, if he get this answer wrong.
Carpenter.
And this should make you a real crowd favorite. John works for the IRS.
And not the director of Escape from New York. The show would run an astounding 22 seasons, in the process spawning a slew of catchphrases like,
I'd like to call a friend.
On September 13th, the surreal slacker comedy Spaced premiered on UK's Channel 4.
Never saw
Hey,
it.
what's that for? I was thinking we'd do that thing, you know, like in that film with Andy McDowell and Gerard Depardieu. You know, where they get married so that she can keep a house. I should do it.
Featuring future stars like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, the show was directed by Edgar Wright, who would reunite with Pegg and Frost for the cult hit Cornetto Trilogy. Moving into the fall, Law & Order aired the first episode of its popular spin-off, Law & Order Special Victims Unit, on September 20th.
I do see myself as the father of 4 children, none of whom I'd like exposed to Mr. Gloucester's shortcomings.
Shortcomings, my ass, you pothead!
Originally starring Mariska Hargitay and Christopher Maloney, the show has run for 26 seasons and is still making new episodes. America got a new TV president on September 22nd, when The West Wing debuted on NBC. Created by Aaron Sorkin, the series followed Martin Sheen's president, Josiah Bartlett, and his Oval Office staff as they navigated a 2-term presidency.
Thy father is the 3rd commandment.
Then what's the first commandment?
I am the Lord your God. Thou shalt worship no other God before me. Boy, those were the days, huh?
The politically influential series would win an unprecedented 9 Emmys in its first season and 27 over its whole run. September 25th, NBC aired the pilot for the Judd Apatow-produced teen drama Freaks and Geeks.
May I join you here in the Enterprise Mess Hall? I'm so hungry I could eat a tribble.
I don't get it.
Set in the 80s, the series, which was about the ups and downs of being a teen, featured a number of...
Is this show pretty good? I've heard about it, but that just gave me some like Wonder Years vibes, seeing that. So I love the 80s nostalgia, man. I might have to check that out. I'm looking for a new show to binge.
To be famous faces including James Franco, Seth Rogen, Jason Segel, and Linda Cardellini. It was canceled after just 12 episodes. But thanks to Apatow involving its cast in his movies, it eventually came to be considered a cult classic. September 26th may have been a Sunday, but that didn't stop NBC from celebrating the 25th anniversary of Saturday Night Live.
Well, who is your favorite cast member that you ever got to work with?
Well, that's a tough one, but I'm going to say Will Ferrell. That guy is going to make it. Very talented.
The 3-hour primetime special featured appearances from luminaries like Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Billy Crystal, Lorraine Newman, Garrett Morris, and Steve Martin, among dozens of others. 25 years seemed like a lot, but on February 16th, many of the same stars turned out once again on a Sunday to celebrate SNL's 50th anniversary. The special again featured an army of guest stars, including A-listers like Ryan Reynolds and Emma Stone.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, coming this fall to Cartoon Network.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, an animated horror/comedy about an anxious dog living with an elderly couple in Nowhere, Kansas. The critically acclaimed series ran 4 seasons and is regularly cited as one of the best and scariest kids shows ever made.
Shake, Courage, shake.
Tragedy struck 1 month later, when South Park voice actress Mary Kay Bergman, who voiced nearly all the show's female characters, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Remember, don't get off this bus or a big scary monster will eat you!
Bergman was an accomplished performer, having voiced characters like Snow White for Disney, among many others. Legendary stand-up comic Richard Pryor made his final television appearance on the Norm Macdonald sitcom The Norm Show on December 1st. Pryor, who played an old man in a wheelchair who kept attacking his nurses, appeared only briefly in the episode's cold open.
What the hell was that?
Wind.
Wind? Look, you just behave yourself, all right?
The iconic funny man passed away almost to the day, 6 years later in December 2005. And finally, Buffy the Vampire Slayer aired the fan-favorite episode, Hush, with just 17 days left in the 20th century. The episode, which pitted Buffy against a gang of creepy ghouls who steal the voices of everyone in Sunnydale, contained just 17 minutes of dialogue in its 44-minute runtime. It nabbed an Emmy nod for Outstanding Writing for a Drama Series, the show's only nomination, and is now widely considered to be the best episode of the entire franchise. So what do you think? What was your favorite new show?
Wow, man, 1999. You know, you just look at like the time, like 99. I remember gas prices being low. I remember going to the store, getting bread, prices being low. Dang, man. I love watching videos like this because they put a smile on my face when you just think about, although I wasn't having a great, my life wasn't as great as far as, you know, things I may have needed and all that stuff. It did seem a little more simpler. A lot of things seems very complicated right now. Wow. But hey, appreciate y'all coming over. Please like, share, and comment down below and subscribe, man. Peace out.